Quote, the TF2 mercenaries defeat Deltarune bosses. I mean, they are canonically defeated by a bunch of kids, so should be easy. Right? Right? On the TF2 side, we have Scout, who's basically kind of a big deal. He's fast and talks too much. Dude was a professional yapper. What can I say? Soldier is a Heavy, the big friendly dude who gives you sandwich. Medic, the dude lost his medical license, but everyone needs him. Not gonna lie, used to be a medic main. I gotta keep up with everyone just screaming medic, 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 medic. Nowadays, I'm an engineer main though, which means that I will always be busy in the battlefield because I'm an engineer and I solve problems. Also. Okay, but basically these mercenaries, as Sniper puts it, are professional, and professional have standards. Okay, so today we'll be putting these mercenaries against 3 of the Deltarune bosses, Jevil, Spamton Neo, and the Roaring Knight. In Deltarune they are defeated by 3 kids, so in this video it will be a 3v1 as well, just like in Deltarune. I've seen other people doing this, but it's like at least like 10 people in it fighting the boss. But now we're keeping it lore accurate, baby! And it's definitely not because I don't have more than 3 friends to do this with. We're not gonna do this like those power scaling videos because that's boring! I don't care if my goat, Mr. Bean, doesn't have a planetary level attack potency. What does that even mean? So today, we are doing it for real! Join me as we will see if the TF2 mercenaries could defeat the Deltarune bosses. Round 1! Jevil.
Okay.
No, the president! In our first attempt, we didn't know what to expect, so we went with NG, Soldier, and Heavy. Something I learned very quickly in this first attempt is that NG is useless in these boss battles, because in a battle that is very important to dodge, buildings are basically just a sitting duck waiting to be destroyed, which destroys my heart as an NG main, man! Oh, and our soldier had the Market Gardener loadout for some reason, so the only way to deal damage was to Market Garden Jevil. Yeah, it ain't gonna work, pal. We literally lost this first attempt in under 30 seconds. We need a better plan. Meet the medic! We decided that someone had to be a medic to keep everyone alive, because if everyone dies, we'll lose. So, I guess, being an edgy main, I am back as a medic main for this one. In our second attempt, we went with Medic, Demo Man, and Heavy. I have no idea why I had the Quick Fix equipped in this attempt. I guess my rationale was that I could keep everyone alive better because I could heal them faster. But I was soon proven wrong. Keeping 1 mercenaries alive through an ubercharge invisibility is much more effective than a faster heal. We also sucked at dodging. We lost the second attempt under almost a minute. In our third attempt, I fixed my mistake and switched to stock minigun, but for some reason my friend decided to place an engineer for this one, even though it has been established that NG is pretty useless in this boss battle. In this attempt, we learned a couple new things. 1. Stock minigun is necessary for this battle. 2. Heavy's minigun is actually very good at dealing massive amount of consistent damage against Jevil. And 3. We learned that you can respawn. Before this, we were under the impression that you can't respawn because we kept dying together and losing the round. But as long as someone is still alive, you will still have the time to respawn. Also, there was a moment when I got stuck in Jevil's ass. Oh, I'm stuck.
I don't know.
I'm stuck! I'm stuck! I felt violated, man. The round ended pretty fast. Faster than the second attempt even. However, we managed to get Jevil to half of his health. It literally felt like landing your first punch against Heimdall in God of War. You just know that it's possible to clap his ass! In our fourth attempt, we did Medic, Heavy, and Scout. The logic is that Scout should be able to dodge the obstacles easily because of his double jump. So Scout should be able to survive longer. Honestly, I think it works sometimes, but like it really didn't matter in the end. It's like the Linkin Park song, you know? He tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. For some reason, there were times when I was low on health but didn't go for the health pack. Sometimes the health pack was literally right in front of me, but I didn't get it for some reason. We actually managed to get him enter his second phase. Well, I think. He turned into a scythe and started raining on us. In the end, we managed to defeat Jevil. Yeah! Round 2! Spamton Neo. So I have never actually defeated Spamton Neo in Deltarune because I never actually bothered to do the secret freedom motive bosses. So we were going in blind and we didn't know what to expect. What the? First attempt, we went with Soldier, Heavy, and Medic. So in this battle, you're supposed to shoot Spamton and his health is represented as the strings attached to his body. Now, the problem is that we didn't know this information until about 30 minutes or more of fighting him. We will get there when we get there. Oh, also, unlike Jevil and later the Roaring Knight, when everyone dies in this round, the round doesn't end. The round ends when the timer ends. A lot of Spamton's attack require either prior knowledge from the base game Deltarune, or it's basically trial and error. Some attacks also felt like RNG. I also think that there's some attacks here that doesn't really translate well into TF2, like this attack where Spamton became wide. In Deltarune you could see everything, while in TF2 you could barely see what's going on, leaving us, who's doing it blindly, very confused. Like, being real here, what were we supposed to do? Eventually the timer ran out and we lost the first attempt. After the first attempt, I decided to search up on Google on how to defeat Spamton Neo, and I reached the wrong conclusion. How do you defeat Spamton Neo? Focus on destroying the tree. Oh, you gotta cut the wires. Oh, we were shooting at the wrong things this whole time. What Google just told me is how to defeat him in normal Deltarune, not in the TF2 version. We tried to shoot the wires, obviously nothing happened. On the second attempt, I started using the Conjurer. This gives huge support for my teammates. However, I still weren't using the correct rocket launcher for this battle since the clip size really matters in this type of battle. The timer was running out, but we noticed something that would change everything. Okay, hold on. I do notice the strings are less now. There's only 3 strings now. He's on 3 strings! So this finally confirms that the strings does indicates the health, and we've been doing the right thing all along. Third attempt, I am now using the direct hit. It would give me 4 more rockets per reload, and it should also deal more damage. We also tried to have one sniper to see if it will do crit damage on headshots. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Lastly, we had my friend use the Iron Bomber Demo Man to see if it will do good damage against Spamton. The result? 1. No, sniper does not do crit headshot damage on Spamton. 2. Iron Bomber Demo Man is actually pretty good. It deals 100 damage per pipe, which is pretty good damage. The only problem is that the pipe's curves, which means that it's only good for medium range and not for long range. So some pipe won't reach Spamton at all, especially if he's far away. 3. My sniper friend threw piss at Spamton twice. Pretty funny, but that's nothing. So, sniper is useless in this battle, so my friend switched to medic mid-battle, but in the end, it's not enough. We need more damage. Since we noticed that Demo Man deals good damage against Spamton, in our 4th attempt, we tried to do all Demo Man route. I didn't have the Iron Bomber though, so I had to use the stock grenade launcher. The problem with the stock grenade launcher, however, is that the pipe doesn't go very far. At least not as far as the Iron Bomber does, or at least I think. So I had to stand at the edge of the car to hit Spamton, which is a problem. This range limitation is a huge problem because it means that I only have a limited amount of spots to stand to be able to hit Spamton. And there will be times where I can't hit Spamton at all because he's just so far away. Mid-battle, one of my friends switched to medic in trying to keep us alive. I still tried to keep up with being a demo man, but then I just gave up and played medic. I fell down! And so my friend who was the medic now switched to the brass beast heavy. He did it as a joke, but turns out this might actually be the optimal heavy loadout. The 60% slower movement speed is a problem since that means that he couldn't dodge almost any of the obstacles, but if he's constantly being healed by the medic, the 20% more damage stats of the brass beast actually becomes a major part of winning the battle. Here we also discovered the power of the F1 button by complete accident. We will figure out what it actually does in the future attempts, but basically if we hold the F1 button by standing on it for a couple seconds, it will grant mini crits. Now I still don't know if it gives mini crits to all of your teammates or if it's individually, since in the future attempts it gave us individually, but here it gave all of us mini crits, so I don't know. Spamton was on 2 strings and we noticed that the time stopped like Dios Zawarudo, and we were transported to this small room where we had to dodge money. Personally, I wouldn't dodge them, I would instead take them, but you know, I guess the mercenaries are allergic to money or something. And then we had to dodge more stuff, but it was too much, so we went to sleep. Aww. After all of that, we are transported back to the cart, but since it was only 15 seconds left, there's nothing we could do and we lost the attempt. It's our 5th attempt now and we finally reached the ultimate optimal strategy. Since dying doesn't really matter in this battle, we decided to pick the class that could output as much damage as possible. Soldier, Heavy, and Demo Man. Soldier providing long-range explosive damage with his direct hit rocket launcher and support with his Conjurer. Heavy providing a consistent serious damage output, and Demo Man providing medium range explosive damage. This attempt is also the attempt where we figured out about the F1 mini crit button, but again for some reason it only gave one of us the mini crit instead of all of us. We are at the 3 minutes and 40 seconds mark and Spamton is already at 3 strings. The strategy is working. We quickly reached the Robo Spamton phase thing. Knowing what to do now and learning from our previous mistake, we dodged everything we could. The keyword here is of course everything we could. After that, we quickly defeated Spamton Neo with ease. Round 3. Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bump is shaped like a deer. In our first attempt, we went all Demo Man, just for fun. We were still very unfamiliar with the attack pattern, so we kinda just walked into her attack. Also, yes, I'll be assuming that the Roaring Knight is Des. We still don't know who it is yet, but everyone in the fandom decided that it's Des, so it'll be Des for now. I mean, imagine if by the time Chapter 5 comes out and turns out it's not Des. We also learned that this is very similar to the first boss we fought, Jevil, where if everyone dies, you lose, so staying alive at all time is very important. In our second attempt, we went with Medic and 2 soldiers. We realized immediately from our previous attempt that having a medic is a must. Again, since we were still unfamiliar with her attacks, we got hit a lot, like almost all the time. Then we have this one attack that took us so many attempts to figure out. For some reason, we never figured out how to dodge this attack because we thought that we had to jump over the fire. But no! All you had to do is to dodge the projectiles, but we were under the impression that we had to jump over the fire. So we always failed this one until later attempts when we finally figured that out, but that took way too long for us to figure out. My greatest weakness, other than the f***ing fire attack, is her spinning sword attack because of how fast you take damage there. And also the flying sword attack because it's hard to see where they are coming from. Because it's not like in Deltarune where you can see everything in top-down view. Here you need to actually physically turn. One of my friends switched to Pyro and it did some consistent damage, but it's not as much as the class that I will talk about later. Anyway, we failed. On our third attempt, I asked them to both go Pyro. This turned out to be wasteful and useless. One of us did use the flock, which helped a ton, but it was still not enough. On our fourth attempt, we went with Medic, Pyro, and Brass Beast Heavy. Remember when I said that there's a better class to do consistent damage with? It's Heavy Weapons Guy! With the same loadout we used to fight against Spamton Neo. Turns out, Brass Beast Heavy is the key to defeating these bosses. Our idea in this attempt is to deal as much consistent damage as possible. We still failed in the end, but it's now clear on how we will approach this. We need the Brass Beast Heavy to be our main source damage while the rest of the team needs to stay alive as long as possible since Heavy is a sitting duck and will likely be unalive first. On our 5th attempt, we tried to do 2 heavies, but obviously that didn't go well. On our 6th attempt though, we had a new strategy. 1 heavy and 2 medics. First medic will have the normal stock medigun, while the second medic will have the crit streak. The idea is that we switch place every time our Uber finishes. The crit streak medic will provide crits when the Roaring Knight is doing minimal attacks, while the stock medic will overcharge heavy when the Roaring Knight is doing a heavy and hard to dodge attacks. Each medics will also heal each other, so while the crit streak heals the heavy, the stock medic will heal the crit streak medic, and vice versa. And if heavy is dead, both medics will heal each other to keep each other alive. Obviously, that's just a theory. In practice, it's way more chaotic. There will be times when no one's healing heavy and heavy is left alone by himself. However, with this method, we managed to halve the Roaring Knight's health before failing. We tried this method again on our 7th attempt. There was a moment when everyone's dead and I managed to clutch by surviving until everyone respawned back.
25, I don't think we're gonna get this one. Yep, no, we're dead, we're dead. Dead.
Oh,
nice. The best beast was so OP. Like, you need to use that one. Don't use the normal. Oh, I'm back.
I felt like I had an observation hockey in my veins! But nah, I couldn't replicate that moment because I failed when that time came again. This method is only good in theory, but not in practice. In our 8th attempt, I tried being a demo man using the parachute and sticky jumper. Okay, so my justification is that I suck at dodging, and if the damage dealer and medic is dead, I could just stall for time until they eventually respawn back. The problem is I can't deal damage effectively. All I had at that point is my melee, and dealing melee damage is just not enough. So basically, I was useless for most of the battle unless if I had to stall for time. Somehow, we did manage to almost defeat her, but yeah, it was not enough. We tried this method again on our 9th attempt. We failed 2 minutes in. On our 10th attempt, we went with Soldier, Medic, and Heavy. Heavy again being the main damage dealer, Soldier being the second damage dealer, and Medic pocketing Heavy to keep Heavy, the main damage dealer, alive. Not only that, Soldier also provides support with his Conjurer. So basically, Heavy will deal the most damage, Soldier will be the combination of damage dealer and support, and Medic is full on support. We basically got the essentials covered. This attempt will also be the attempt when I finally slowly figure out how to dodge the firewall attack. The thing is, it's actually really easy to dodge, but not gonna lie, the firewall threw all of us off, making us think that we had to dodge the firewall, not the projectiles. We actually managed to drain the health of the Roaring Knight. However, she has one last move against us. This last move from her is borderline impossible for us to dodge, and we were quickly defeated. But we're not giving up yet.
No.
3 seconds. Come on, come on, come on. Oh no, I don't have the.
Dude, help me.
Wait, what?
Holy
What?
sh- Okay. Can't do
I'm
shit.
up here.
This might be good.
Wait.
This might be good.
Wait,
We're
what?
not getting hit.
Where are we here? We glitched. No.
What?
It
Why are
doesn't
you guys not
matter.
inside?
And after the 15th, we gave up. As we were already getting tired doing this. So I guess the TF2 Mercs couldn't defeat all of Deltarune bosses after all. Unless